Most esteemed reader, after many eventful years, I have finally found the time to write down the incredible story of my only student. It begins on the day I found a small child on the banks of the big river. It was an unreal day, and the sky showed signs of great events to come. I reared the little boy as if he were my own son. Very soon, I became aware of his extraordinary talent for magic. Years passed by, and I taught the boy as well as I could. But I could never really satisfy his hunger for knowledge about everything to do with magic. So, the day to say goodbye inevitably came, because I knew that the boy was drawn to the mysteries of magic. He was bound for the legendary Academy of Avencast, shrouded in ancient myths. Built above mysterious caves with crystals which rumors tell are filled with souls from ancient times. The secrets of this Academy for Magic Instruction are watched over by the High Council of the Archmages, which guides the fate of the Citadel with watchful eyes. And so my protege entered this world of marvels and magic. In the classrooms of Avencast's Academy, the young adepts are learning about the mysteries of magic. Our young hero is paying very close attention to the words of Exivarius, the alchemy instructor.
And will our slumbering young friend surely be able to repeat what one usually makes from red sulfur and silver moon dust? You are not concentrating enough on your lesson. Alchemy seems to bore you, and that is happening at the expense of the other adepts. Go to your mentor, Malveren, and talk to him about the best way forward with your education. I don't think you should be here with the attitude you have now, in any event. There is no point in teaching you any more alchemy if your interests so obviously lie elsewhere. You have forgotten your staff.
is it that brings you to me at this hour of the day? Are you not supposed to be having lessons in alchemy right now? You fell asleep. I marked that you have talent, young friend, but you fail to take things sufficiently seriously. Even if you are bored by the alchemy lectures, you should listen attentively, so as to be truly a master of what you learned here later on. But Exivarius is probably correct in saying that there's no point in forcing you to pay attention. And by now you have already learned quite a lot about theory. Let's look ahead. Probably it's just about time to put more emphasis on your practical education. You should also already be thinking about preparing for the big examination. Therefore, I will send you to 3 masters. Each of them will have a task for you by which you have to prove yourself. In return, each will place his seal on a petition for your admission to the final Avencast examination. We will speak again once you have obtained all 3 seals. First, I will send you to Horatio. In his arena, you will face your first opponents, and you will practice the various martial arts. He will also explain where you can find the other 2 masters. When you have Horatio's seal, you also have to report to Masters Archibald and Della Gostera. Archibald will put your knowledge of crystals to the test, and Della Gostera will assign you a task concerning the history of Avencast. Whether you go and contact Archibald first or Della Gostera is your choice. Go now and take your parchment with you, and this map of the Academy as well, for good measure. Do not disappoint me again.
The combat training with Horatio is really hard. I am so clumsy even in the basic exercises. If it should continue like that, then it will take me forever to get his seal.
Get out of here! I want to be left alone.
Greetings. You must be here to prepare yourself for your final examination. I will be introducing you to the high art of combat in my arena. Do you think you are prepared for real combat already? Or should I show you the basics first? I had thought this may be a little too much for you. Well then, proceed straight into the arena. Let's see how you hold up in combat practice. We shall begin with a simple blows training for close combat. I am going to make a hovering dummy appear. Try to hit it with your staff as often as you can until it is destroyed. That looks quite good already. Let's try your skills at ranged combat now. It's a bit of a challenge to keep focused on moving targets. I am going to make a number of targets appear. Try to hit them all. Very good. In conclusion, you should practice some dodging in combat. That is one of the most important lessons. I am going to make an obelisk appear at the center of the arena. Try to hit it from the perimeter of the arena while not getting hit by its projectiles. Aside from normal dodging to the right and left, forwards and backwards, also try to jump and roll as well. Good. I think that you are ready for some real combat now. You have to win 4 fights, after which I shall give you my seal. But should you want to repeat the practice rounds once more, you are certainly welcome to do so. Don't worry, nothing will happen to you. That is, aside from maybe making a bad impression. But nobody was born a perfect fighter. I am going to summon creatures which you will fight against. When I see that you are not up to it, I will interrupt the fight. It is better to repeat such a fight than having to live with a bad result. Well, let's get started then. You should know that you must win the first 2 consecutive fights. You will, of course, have to face a more difficult situation in every following round. You can face the 3rd and 4th fights later, if it gets to be too much for you. Have you understood the principles? Congratulations on passing the first round. Get ready for your next opponent. was sure that you... You seem to be holding up well. Prepare yourself for your next opponent. You have talent. You shall get my seal, for you have earned it. But I would really like to see how you hold up against even stronger opponents. It would also be good practice for you. Would you like to give it a try? Remarkable. Not all candidates for the examinations managed to prove themselves against these opponents. You have earned a small reward. And besides, you have also invested extra time in this lesson. I wish you all the best on your other tasks. You will find Archibald in the Crystal Workshop in the southwest wing. Della Gustera holds class in the room west of the Alchemy Lecture Hall.
Hey, you pale toad. Who gave you permission to talk to me? Oh, is that so? And do you know that? I don't like it when every tramp around here comes and talks to me. So give me 5 guilders and I'll forget about it. All right, let's go to the arena and fight this out. So, well, you won. But that was just plain dumb luck. Now get out of here. Hey, you owe me a chance to get even. Seems like you don't have the guts, right?
Hello. Have you ever had dealings with Della Gustera? He plainly had me fail my history examination. Although I knew quite a bit, well, more than just a little, how he arrives at his decisions for awarding marks, well, I just have no idea.
competed with Swiftlina at shooting. She is really good. It is just incredible how fast she is. Seems I'll still have to train a lot more for that. He was last seen in the large storeroom behind Kallios's laboratory, but he didn't want to go back into his cage. Once you have found him, you would have to somehow lure him into his cage. Please, please help me. But you have to promise me not to hurt him. And he is so sweet.
Ah, young apprentice. Where are you heading? I haven't met you yet. I am Severin, curator of the Avencast archive. Well, you look young and strong, and I wonder if you would possibly like to lend me a hand for a short time. Well, there is a problem that occurred to me by mishap. Actually, I am a man who likes pure theory. But somehow I wanted to prove to myself that I, can also practice some real magic. So I bought this book, Summoning for Dummies, and I went down to the cellar in order to summon some imps. But they just did not do what I wanted them to do, and now they are sitting on the shelves of the archive and wreaking havoc on everything. I do not know how I could, get rid of them again. This is really embarrassing for me. Yes. You know, I have to admit, I just cannot do that. And if I were to tell the others about this, Della Gustera would just laugh at me. I would also pay you to do it. Yes, I would appreciate it very much if you could help me. Of course, there are also rats in the cellar, ghastly beasts, and a few spiders. But the imps are most important to begin with. Look what they are doing! They will mess up the entire archive! Oh, so you are back already? Oh, thank you. That was fast. How fortunate for me that I met you. Well, I promised you a reward. I hope you can use it. Many thanks again. Hello, young friend. How are you doing? Oh, the archives are very interesting. There are various documents on the history of the Academy. For example, we are in possession of Tertius's original founding charter, the man who founded the Academy 278 years ago. A very interesting parchment. And then we also have some most intriguing documents which give evidence that there was not exactly a unanimous opinion about the goals the Academy should pursue. Yes, Tertius, the founder of the Academy, was replaced in office only a few years after he assumed it by a mage called Gyron. I don't know yet why he turned over the leadership. It is strange in any case, as the two of them were certainly not friends, at least according to what I have found out so far. There are, of course, some documents which are by far less exciting, such as storage records, for example.
Hello? Is someone there? Over here. I am back here. I am back here. Do you see the rotating globe? That is where I am. Come closer. Unfortunately, you cannot see me. Yes, you have found me, and what a stroke of luck. Who are you then? An apprentice? An apprentice, what luck! I am, Master Georgius. Well, I have a problem. I had brewed a little invisibility potion, drank it, and I cannot become visible anymore. Exivarius could possibly help me, but as you may already have gathered, young apprentice, it is just too embarrassing to explain my problem to him. Well, maybe you could talk to him and ask him for an antidote. You could say that an apprentice has locked himself up in an outhouse because he turned invisible.
Who does he think he is to barge into my lesson like that? I certainly hope he's got a good explanation for it.
What do you want here? Didn't I send you to Malveren? Have you decided to attend my alchemy lessons after all? Well, where is the poor chap now? I will go with you right away to look for myself. To drink an invisibility potion without having an antidote ready? Ha! See what happens if you don't pay attention in alchemy class? Haha, an apprentice, is it? Well, I happen to know a few mages who seem to get themselves into that kind of trouble time and again. And a certain contender. Well, I will not mention any names, but he's got a special talent for getting himself into this kind of pickle. Embarrassing, isn't it? So remember your alchemy lessons in order to avoid such mishaps yourself later. But I don't want to be unkind. This potion here contains a good antidote which will certainly help.
Have you got an antidote? I hope that he did not ask you too many uncomfortable questions. Yes, quite sensible. Well, that's good. So he actually believed the story of the locked-up student? I knew that he would fall for it. Well, thank you, young apprentice. I shall now, try this potion then. If it is from Exivarius, then it will most certainly help. What luck! It really seems to have worked. Oh, thank you once more, young adept. Allow me to give you a small reward. It's nice to see you. You really haven't told anyone about it, have you? Well, fear is really too strong a word. I just don't want Exivarius to know about it. Do not misunderstand me there. Exivarius is really a capital fellow, and very able too. He surely won't have to work in a teaching position much longer, and will get a proper position instead. But he knows precisely that alchemy is not my strongest suit, but that I still tinker with it a lot. I simply don't want to be the butt of any of his humour.
Been at one of the other academies. I was at Cyrenova until recently. They don't have any magical crystals there, but it is still a good academy. Archmage Mergantiolis came from there too, and there are many more female mages and adepts than here. At Avencast, they began to accept women only a few years ago. Thank you for helping me. I did not know what else to do. I would like to give you a little gift for your help. Perhaps we will see each other another time. To deal with Icarius. Exivarius sent me to the library today to get a book on alchemy, and this Icarius just turned me out. It seems as if he thinks all those books were his own.
What are you doing here? This is my library, my books. You've no business here. Whatever you may want, I don't have time to bother with you. Get out of here!
Haha! I was supposed to take an examination on crystal structures with Archibald, and he sent me to the guard instead because he had lost some documents there. But he awarded me the mark of very good in crystallography anyhow. It appeared to me that he had just forgotten about the examination.
Greetings, young apprentice. I don't think I've met you yet. I wasn't really expecting a new apprentice. What do you want here? Yes, Malverin. The final examination is taking place soon. Well, crystallography. It's just that I'm currently quite busy with my work, you know. And then there are also these trees. So, are you here for a stamp? Well, that could be arranged, I suppose. I would actually have a good task for you there. The matter is that there are two so-called luau trees in the garden of our academy. They were a gift from Uan, which, as it turns out, is somewhat complicated. It is actually the case that the two trees, a red tree and a blue one, don't like each other. They use their branches to keep fighting each other during certain seasons. They currently are in a phase like that again, which of course is extremely bothersome. The only thing you can do is to give them this special fertilizer that will calm them down again. But this fertilizer is made by Callios. As you can surely imagine, I am quite busy, but I would appreciate it very much if you could visit Callios in order to fetch the fertilizer. Apply it to the trees and deal with the remaining branches that are still thrashing about on the ground. You would get my seal for doing that. The garden would be peaceful once again, and we could still chat a little about crystals afterwards. Callios works in the laboratory tower. You have to walk southeast from the court with the great statue. The trees are in the garden. You can't miss them. One of them is red, while the other is blue. And as I have told you already before, they fight each other with their branches.
Oh, hello. Say, have you perhaps seen a bag with some crystals anywhere? I must have left it in the garden. That is really a nuisance. I must have left it somewhere in the garden and I don't even remember where anymore. Yet I urgently need the crystals for my examination, and now I cannot even leave this place because I have to prepare these exercises for Master Archibald. Oh, do you think that you could have a look for them?
Visitor? That's fortuitous, as I happen to need some help with my next experiment. Why don't you go and get the ice spray spell from the storage room next door, and then give me some help in extinguishing the fire dwarfs, if things should go wrong. I'll give you the key to the room to take with you. Didn't I tell you to get the ice spray spell? My experiment can't wait all day. You've got the key already, right? So go to the storage room next door and get it. There is a... I give you my thanks. So, the trees are causing trouble again, right? Of course I can give you the fertilizer straight away. I'm just about to try to make a fire crystal. That would be a great way to collect energy. Like constructing a staff that recharges its fire energy by itself. But I'm simply not having any success at all. Very good! You see the pots here, right? I've got to get them very hot, but they must not get too hot, otherwise they will explode and the fire dwarves will ruin it all again. You must try to cool them down with the ice spray spell. You can tell by the colours which ones should be cooled down first. If the cover is red, it's already critical. Orange is on the edge. Nothing may be permitted to explode as long as I am busy. I can't believe it! We're just... finally succeeded! A fire crystal! I am already anxious to discover what might be possible to do with it. Theoretically, it should generate fire energy continuously. So, if I could now find a way to combine it with a staff or a set of armor... Thank you for your help. Without you, everything would have taken much longer, and my laboratory would probably be on fire already.
Hello? I haven't seen you around here before. Are you good at shooting? What do you think? I can hit all the targets within 10 seconds. And I bet you don't have a chance to be on par with Swiftlina at shooting. But if you should manage it anyhow, I will give you 10 guilders. Well then, go ahead and try it. You should see the targets across the body of water. You may start shooting in 10 seconds, and then you have another 10 seconds to hit all the targets. I don't mean to be unfair. And stay close to the pool. There is no running away. Hee. That was not bad at all. I have to admit, I did not really think that I would have to give you 10 guilders, but I still bet that I am faster than you. Or can you do it in 5 seconds too? Well, you already know the procedure. You may start shooting in 10 seconds, and then you have exactly 5 seconds to hit all the targets. Now, I'm really curious. And stay near the pond. I have to admit, you're really good. Even I would not be able to hit all the targets in less than 5 seconds, but I thought it was fun to compete with you. And just wait a few days. I'm sure I'll be even faster then.
Did you know that the Academy just exists because of the crystal caves? I once read that the crystals bring you closer to the dwellings of the gods. Do you think that is true?
Oh, thank you! I can see that you have found my bag. Oh, you did me a great service. Here, take one of my crystals as a reward for your trouble.
I'm glad to see you back. Have you been successful in calming down our capricious trees? And have you really got rid of all of those branches? Splendid. That saves me a lot of valuable time. And so you shall, of course, get my seal. I have to admit that task had little to do with crystals, but sometimes you have to prove to be willing to take on other tasks as well. Capital. And there is even some time left for a crystallography lesson, if you like. I can see that you are an interested and attentive student. It is true that crystals are of great importance to Avencast. Their mysterious powers were noticed a few hundred years ago in the so-called Crystal Caves. Back then, it was believed that the presence of the crystals could bring people closer to the divine dimensions, and this spurred a fierce struggle for them, which finally was won by a mage called Tertius. He was the founder of the Avencast Academy. Henceforth, research on the crystals' nature and using them for magical ends commenced. Even now, there is still a great deal to be discovered about them. There are probably many applications possible that we aren't even aware of yet. Every crystal's got its own unique structure, and a lot of experience is required to put it into specific use. Some crystals are found to be excellent sources of energy. Maybe you were already fortunate enough to assist Kallios with one of his experiments. He is a master of his trade. You will learn about new aspects of crystals during your final exam. I wish I could tell you more, but I still have a lot to do. There is something new to discover every day. But I am very pleased about your interest and would like to give you a small present. I am sure that you can make good use of it. I see that
and I have really great stuff to offer. You should have the time to spare. You could even do me a favor. You'd get a special treat from me for it. As I said, it's just a very small favor. I want to read a book from the library, but the librarian always catches me. His name is Icarius, and he is really strange. He does not like it when people want to read books because he thinks that it would damage them. So he always threw out poor Gorlin straight away before he could even find the right shelf. I can tell that you are interested. Oh yes, we will be doing good business together in the future. I do not remember exactly what the book is called, but it is about the Black Sparkling Tiger. Capture, upkeep, and care of the black sparkling tiger, or something like that. But don't get caught by Icarius. As I've already warned you, he does not like it when people take books out with them. And remember, I will give you a really great reward if you bring me that book.
So what are you doing with... You again? You again? Don't let me catch you here again! You again? You again? You again?
Happy to see you again. Do you have any news, you know, about...
you.